What's up guys, and welcome to another YuGiOh Duel video. So there are some new notifications that I just saw inside the YuGiOh Duel note email right here. So as I click into it, there's actually an upcoming mini box coming soon. And since it is called Title of Idea of Armageddon, and there are cards like Dark Spirit, etc, etc, as you can see on screen right here, what I speculate that is actually support cards for DDD. Why? Because Declan Akaba is coming to YuGiOh Duel. So this will be our first Arch 5 event for YuGiOh Duel. And if you don't know who Declan Akaba is, I'm going to show him on screen right now. So Declan Akaba is basically a character in the YuGiOh Arch 5 universe, where he basically supports the different other characters and is actually kind of like a rival to YuGiOh in a way. But he's actually a good guy instead of like a villain like Yuri and also Leo Akaba, which is his dad. So enough of looking at him, let's check out the details of this event. So proceed the event by getting a new UR card, DDD Supreme King Kaiser, and new SR card, DDD Savant Galilei. So what I speculate for this upcoming mini box is that it's gonna be a full-on DDD support mini box where you actually have cards to help to build up the DDD deck, especially cards surrounding Supreme King Kaiser and Savant Galilei. Note that these could be actually event exclusive cards, or there are cards that you can actually obtain from the mini box. But regardless, this is great news as well, since this is our first Arch 5 event. I'm looking forward to see what kind of like Arch 5 event will be presented. Will it be a story mode event, or will it be a raid boss event, or maybe it's just a duelist that appears, a legendary duelist that appears at the gate while achieving certain mission requirements. That's a pretty interesting thing to actually consider. But until then, we should actually finish up on this current event, which is a Turbo Duel Grand Prix. So for the Turbo Duel Grand Prix, as you can see, it's still going on right now. And as you can see in this lottery, in this information board right there. So I managed to obtain one copy of Dark Strike Fighter, which is pretty decent as well. And also a copy of Assert Stealer, as long as I also obtained a junk card now. Note that these cards are event exclusive and you can only obtain them via the lottery right there. As of for my progress, I'm dueling as a sector security deck. So as you can see, most of my cards are basic sector security level kind of anime cards, using Tetsu Trudge as well. For the card lottery, let's see right there for the reward list. As I stated, I've obtained a copy of the top 4 event exclusive cards. But I do recommend you guys to get Tomato and Tomato as well, since it's a very decent and very like a good card to use, especially if you're playing the Xyz, which is a Tomato King. Since Tomato King requires 3 level 3 plant type monsters to Xyz into, this is pretty much the target card for it. And not to mention, if you're playing like any Xyz monsters that's actually a plant and it's a rank 3, this card is perfect as well. However, I'm not sure whether, since this card cannot be used as Xyz summon except for a plant type, you can also use this for possibly a synchro. So if you were to have that level 1 synchro monster that can special summon you control no monsters on the field, then normal summon Tomato and Tomato, then bring out another Tomato and Tomato, you'll go right up into a level 7 synchro monster, which could be junk, which could be either like Samurai Destroyer or any other level 7 monsters you can actually think of. Aside from that, my rank currently is basically Elite number 4, and I managed to obtain the card sleeves and also the game mat for this event, which I'm actually just happy to obtain. I can still go for this entire event as well with this process, but it will still take a lot of time due to the horrible internet connection, which causes me to lose a duel, and not to mention bricks. So bricking is a very big problem for my deck, and as usual, it's a learning process, so not everyone's deck will be perfect. It just takes a lot of practice and for you to try out for this entire event. Aside from that, you also have the mini mission, which is the tour guide bingo missions. So currently, by completing all the sheets, you will obtain the event exclusive card of Fairy King Alverdic. So he's a level 4 plot type monster that requires 2 level 4 earth monsters, and you can detach a material, and not all non-earth monsters on the field loses 500 attack and defense. It might not seem much at first, but if you actually think about it, if you're just playing it against like NPCs, or you just want to try out like different generic combos, you can use this card as well just to have a decrease of attack. And also using Wonder Balloons as well will help with attack reduction for the opponent's monsters. But still, it's not fast enough. It's not fast-paced enough for rank duels, or maybe like these kind of PvP events. So it's a fun card to have regardless. And also look at all the gems if you complete all 5 sheets at one go. So if you observe the number of gems I had previously before this video is actually about 1,000 before 2,000, before 2,000 mark. So this is actually one way for you to stack up gems and to actually prepare yourself for the upcoming mini boss as well. Another side note I'd like to remind people is that remember to click on the different locations on the map right there to obtain your free gems, which is typically range between 1 to 3, which is basically it. But the maximum is 5 gems, so just click on the map whenever you can. And also I would like to tell you guys to quickly level up your Arch5 characters. So leveling up your Arch5 characters basically mean that you also have access to better cards as well for their enemy level kind of deck, such as your Senju monsters. If you're planning to play your Senju deck, I recommend you to level up Silvio as fast as you can so you can obtain my Senju Pitat. And then you also at least gain some Abyss Actor support, which I would like to point out that the next upcoming mini boss could also feature Abyss Actors as well, since there are basically 0 to none Abyss Actor monsters you can obtain from other boxes or structure decks. So be prepared for the upcoming mini boss as well. Not to mention leveling them up helps you gain access to more gems, which is a pretty nice bonus as well. Not to mention it is quite good for you because you get to try out the different decks you want, whether you're playing their version of the anime deck or you're playing a version of your own we are much more confident in. But most of the time the decks that you would have for these characters is basically depending on what skills you currently have, because skills are basically one of the few bread and butter of using a character inside any duels. So without a proper skill, even though you have a good deck, most of the time you will not have a bonus advantage when it goes into PvP or up to spamming the events. And also it is a good way to remind you guys that once you accumulate your EX jewels, please check out the Card Trader EX right here to obtain the event exclusive cards. So if you accumulated enough, you can trade for the cards such as you can see on screen right now. And if you are content with just obtaining 1 copy of each, which is fine as well if you're not going to use it, I do recommend you guys to try to trade it for the event boosters. Since the Declan Akaba event is coming out, you might as well stock up on your event boosters to maximize the rewards and also to make sure that you get enough points for it as well. Because you don't know how the Declan Akaba event is gonna run, so at least you have some means of assurance that you can complete the event by fully maximizing the rewards and also whatever you can from the event. Skill chips are also an important factor to remind you guys to actually stock them up. So even if you manage to get a certain character, like let's say for example, the current character I have Silver Saltari is pretty bad because he only has Pendulum Extra Charge, Superstar with Abyss Actor, and Attack Burst. So these are pretty bad since there aren't much skills that can support any of the decks I'm gonna use for him. So it's better that I stock up on the skill chips so that I can at least try out to obtain the different skills which is available right there, so that it will help your deck significantly, as well as helping you out during the duels. And that's about it for this video. I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please stock up on your event items and also obtain the Turbo Duel Grand Prix exclusive cards. Stock up on your gems because the main box is coming soon, and Declan Akaba as well. So until the Declan Akaba occurs, I'll see you next time, and goodbye.